Here's the beginning of a book on dark psychology. Tap the Dark Side of the Mind, an exploration of dark psychology. Introduction. Dark psychology delves into the human psyche's shadows, uncovering the mechanisms behind manipulation, control, and coercion. This book aims to illuminate these dark aspects, providing insights and strategies for understanding and defending against manipulative behaviors. Chapter 1. The Foundations of Dark Psychology. Dark psychology is the study of psychological traits and behaviors associated with manipulation, control, and coercion. It explores how these tactics influence others' thoughts and actions, often leading to harmful consequences. Historical background. The roots of dark psychology can be traced back to early philosophical and psychological inquiries into human nature. Thinkers like Machiavelli, Freud, and Jung have explored themes of power, control, and the subconscious mind. Machiavelli's The Prince offered insights into political manipulation, advocating for cunning and deceit in leadership. Freud's theories of the id, ego, and superego examined human drives and instincts, including primal urges. Jung's concept of the shadow self highlighted the parts of the personality that individuals hide or deny, often aggressive or manipulative tendencies. Key concepts and theories. Understanding these foundational concepts helps recognize and protect against dark psychological tactics. The Dark Triad. The Dark Triad consists of three personality traits that contribute to manipulative and harmful behaviors. 1. Narcissism, characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, lack of empathy, and a need for admiration. Narcissists exploit others to achieve their own ends. 2. Machiavellianism involves cunning, strategic thinking, and a focus on self-interest. Machiavellians use deception and exploitation to achieve their goals. 3. Psychopathy, marked by a lack of empathy and remorse, shallow emotions, and antisocial behavior. Psychopaths are often charming and effective manipulators. Manipulation techniques. Dark psychology studies various manipulation methods, including emotional manipulation, psychological warfare, and influence and persuasion techniques. Understanding these methods is crucial for recognizing and counteracting them. Power and control. The dynamics of power and control are central to dark psychology. This includes the psychological mechanisms behind dominance, submission, and the desire for power, and how these dynamics play out in personal relationships, organizations, and society. Chapter 2. The Dark Triad. The Dark Triad explores the interconnected personality traits of narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, shedding light on their characteristics and impacts. Narcissism. Narcissism is characterized by grandiosity, entitlement, lack of empathy, and exploitative behavior. Narcissists often see themselves as superior to others and seek admiration and validation. Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism involves manipulativeness, cynicism, strategic planning, and self-interest. Machiavellians are skilled at influencing and controlling others for personal gain. Psychopathy. Psychopathy is a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, impulsivity, superficial charm, and antisocial behavior. Psychopaths often engage in manipulative and harmful behaviors without remorse. Chapter 3. Manipulation techniques. Manipulation involves influencing others' thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to serve the manipulator's goals. This chapter explores various techniques of emotional manipulation, psychological warfare, and influence and persuasion. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation uses emotions to control or influence others. Common techniques include guilt tripping, gaslighting, and playing the victim. Psychological warfare. Psychological warfare uses tactics to intimidate, confuse, or demoralize others. Techniques include fear-mongering, intimidation, and isolation. Influence and persuasion. Influence and persuasion involve convincing others to adopt certain beliefs or behaviors. Techniques include social proof, reciprocity, and authority. Chapter 4. The Role of Power and Control. Understanding power and control dynamics helps recognize and resist manipulative behaviors. This chapter explores power dynamics, control mechanisms, and the psychology of dominance. Power dynamics. Power dynamics refer to how power is distributed and exercised in relationships and social structures. Types of power include coercive, reward, legitimate, expert, and referent power. Control mechanisms. Control mechanisms are strategies used to maintain power over others. Common mechanisms include surveillance, resource control, and information manipulation. The psychology of dominance. Dominance involves the desire to assert control over others. Traits of dominant individuals include assertiveness, aggression, and charisma. Chapter 5. Dark Psychology and Relationships. Dark psychology significantly affects personal relationships, often leading to toxic dynamics, abuse, and coercion. Understanding these effects is crucial for protection and healing. Toxic relationships. Toxic relationships are characterized by emotionally and psychologically damaging behaviors. Signs include constant criticism, emotional manipulation, lack of trust, and power imbalances. Abuse and coercion. Abuse in relationships can be emotional, psychological, physical, or sexual. Coercion involves pressuring or forcing someone to act against their will through threats, intimidation, or manipulation. Recovery and healing. Recovering from a toxic relationship or abuse involves recognizing the abuse, seeking support, establishing boundaries, focusing on self-care, and rebuilding self-esteem. Chapter 6. Dark Psychology in Society. Dark psychology also operates in broader social contexts, affecting cults, gangs, politics, and media. Understanding these influences helps recognize and resist manipulative tactics on a larger scale. Cults and gangs. Cults and gangs use dark psychological tactics to recruit, control, and retain members. Characteristics include charismatic leadership, isolation, indoctrination, and exploitation. Political manipulation. Political manipulation uses psychological tactics to influence public opinion and gain power. Common techniques include propaganda, disinformation, emotional appeal, and manipulative rhetoric. Media and propaganda. The media can shape public opinion through selective reporting, framing, sensationalism, and repetition. Understanding these techniques helps critically evaluate information. Chapter 7. Protection and Defense. Recognizing and defending against dark psychological tactics involves awareness, resilience, and strategic self-defense. Identifying dark psychological tactics. Signs to watch for include inconsistencies, excessive flattery, isolation attempts, and fear and intimidation. Building resilience. Building resilience involves self-awareness, critical thinking, emotional regulation, and establishing healthy boundaries. Strategies for self-defense. Defensive strategies include calling out manipulation, disengagement, and seeking professional help. Chapter 8. Ethical Considerations. Studying dark psychology requires ethical considerations to avoid misuse and ensure responsible application. The ethics of studying dark psychology. Balancing knowledge and ethical use involves informed consent, respect for autonomy, avoiding harm, and transparency. Using knowledge responsibly. Responsible uses include self-protection, advocacy, and education. Chapter 9. Case Studies in Dark Psychology. Examining real-life examples provides valuable insights into the application and impact of dark psychological tactics. Case Study 1. The Jonestown Massacre. Key tactics used: charismatic leadership, isolation, intense indoctrination, fear, and coercion. Case Study 2. The Stanford Prison Experiment. Key tactics used: authority and role assignments, de-individuation, power dynamics, and situational influence. Case Study 3. Corporate manipulation at Enron. Key tactics used: deceptive practices, cult of personality, manipulation of information, and pressure to conform. Case Study 4. The Milgram Obedience Experiments. Key tactics used: authority, gradual escalation, deference to expertise, and diffusion of responsibility. Case Study 5. The Rwandan Genocide. Key tactics used: propaganda, fear-mongering, social proof, authority, and obedience. Chapter 10. Future Directions in Dark Psychology. Future research and advancements in dark psychology involve understanding genetic and biological factors, ethical considerations in AI and technology, and promoting education and awareness. Cascading advancements in research. Future studies may focus on genetic and biological factors, early intervention, technological influence, and cultural impact. Ethical considerations in AI and technology. Balancing benefits and potential harm involves surveillance and privacy, manipulative algorithms, cybersecurity, and responsible AI development. Education and awareness. Increasing awareness through public education campaigns, school curricula, and professional training can empower individuals to recognize and resist manipulation. Personal development and resilience. Developing personal resilience involves mindfulness, emotional intelligence, strengthening relationships, and lifelong learning. Conclusion. Understanding dark psychology is essential for recognizing and protecting against manipulative and harmful behaviors. By gaining knowledge and applying it ethically, we can create a safer, more understanding world.